All right, now here's a big question for you. How 80-10-10 are you?
80-10-10.
Oh, let me explain what 80-10-10 is before we get started with this. 80% are it's 80% or more come from carbohydrates and 10% or less come from fats and protein. This was developed by Doug Graham, and he kind of put it into a raw food paradigm with it. So, and another thing with the 80-10-10 and the way Doug Graham writes in his book is like no spices, no garlic, onions, and things like that. Do you do strictly 80-10-10? Because your diet seems pretty much 80-10-10.
Yeah, so that's a good point there. I don't like to say that I do any one kind of diet except the John Kohler diet, and I would encourage everybody out there to come up with your own specific diet. I mean, I know Doug wrote 80-10-10. It works great for him, but I'm not Doug, so I'm not going to do his exact diet. What I like to do is I like to pull from different teachers, from different diets on different components of the diets that I like, and I'll bring them into my own personal diet. So while I do use many different principles and techniques in 80-10-10 or natural hygiene, I don't subscribe to everything to the letter, because I think, there's some benefits of some foods that are not included in that program. And that's just my personal opinion based on my research and what works for me. I always encourage you guys out there to find out what works best for you. I mean, some of the other programs that I take things from are something like the Hippocrates style diet that advocates a lots of greens, man, like a green-based diet. I also look at, Dr. Joel Fuhrman's work or the Nutritarian diet style and pull things out of there, and I want to eat nutrient-dense foods. Of course, the majority of my calories comes from fruits, and, but I pull some elements out of some of the other programs to make my own specific diet. So that's about how 80-10-10 I am. On an average day, I have calculated this before, I eat between 15 to 20% fat on average. Some days it could be down to 10, some days it's no overts. And, but I normally don't go above 20. Normally I'm right around 15 plus or minus. It's kind of like where I like to feel and be the best. If I eat too much fat, it really slows my ass down. I have tons of energy and I don't want to be slowed down. So I just don't like eating that much fat in general. But I do think, for me, some amounts of fat are actually are really good, because what happens is when you eat fat with high antioxidant foods, whether that's fruits or vegetables or tomatoes or greens, you're going to get a higher uptake of some of the nutrition because it's going to slow down your digestion. Also, you're going to feel more satiated for longer as well. And, there's also other nutrients in whole food sources of fat that may be beneficial for us.